Mom moved my wrist brace to her bathroom to teach me time management, causing pain and risking my job performance all day. I am sometimes running late, leaving at 6 o'clock instead of 5:45, which gives me time for coffee. I used to have a work start time of 8 a.m. but recently due to staffing issues I start work at 6:30 a.m. I've also been sleeping poorly because my injured wrist keeps me up. It's a very bad sprain that hasn't healed yet. I go for imaging this coming Monday to see if I tore anything. So the last couple days I've been out the door late by my standards, and then twice I've needed to run back to the apartment for something, like a snack or my coffee. But I have never been late to work, because I buffer for traffic. This morning I tried finding my brace but it wasn't where I left it. I halfway looked for it while I got ready, then spent half an hour solely searching for it, only to finally have to give up because I needed to leave as it was 6 o'clock. I asked Dad while I was looking and he said, "How should I know where you put your brace?" And I said, "I know, but it's not where I put it." He rolled his eyes at me and joked about it growing legs. Later when I got to work I texted my mom and she said if you gotten up earlier you would have had time to find your brace. I explained again it hadn't been where I put it, kitchen table, we don't use it as a dining table, and she said that people move things on the table all the time. I should be more conscientious of my time so I can look elsewhere. I asked point blank, "Did you move it?" Her, "You left it in the way." I put it on my bathroom sink. Her, "In my house I can move whatever I want." I asked why she did it and if she knows how much it hurts me, but she still hasn't answered. I'm pissed. I'm in pain. I had to drive in, carefully, with my wrist still too tender to move. I can't even move 2 of my fingers, and typing is going to be brutal all day. I did use an ACE bandage but it isn't ideal as it doesn't provide support like I need. All because my mom wanted to make a fucking scene about my ability to get out the door in time. There's no way it was in her way, because if so she should have moved other stuff on the table. NTA Update 1. I meant to do this that same night but fell asleep earlier than I expected and was at work all day yesterday and didn't have the chance to really put effort in this post. Oops. Then I tried posting it last night and Reddit was glitching out on me. Thursday I texted Dad screenshots of my talk with Mom where she admitted to moving my brace. He didn't respond for a while except to say we'll talk at home after a few hours and you're not in trouble, to reassure me. My lovely work schedule meant that by the time I got home, it was around 9. By then Mom and Dad had apparently already talked a lot. Dad immediately apologized to me and gave me my brace back and asked if I needed ice or Tylenol. He apologized for what Mom did but also for how dismissive he was of me that morning. Even if I had lost it due to my own actions, it didn't help me the way he acted and it was mean and disrespectful. Mom apologized to me but it didn't feel like she meant it at all, and I felt like she was holding back a lecture. I haven't really talked to her and she sure as shit hasn't spoken to me since then, so things are really tense to say the least. Dad is also pissed at her. He's even been sleeping on the couch and he hates doing that. I made him a heating pack yesterday morning before I left for work for his hip because the couch always hurts him. So yeah. That's it. I'm looking for a place. My friend and her fiancé have offered me a couch to crash on if I need to get out immediately, which was nice of them. They are basically my emergency out. I'd only be staying a few days, I'll make sure of that much. I couldn't talk to the leasing office yesterday, so trying again later today if they're in, and Monday if not, about breaking the lease since I'm on it too. I told my beau SS the truth why I didn't have my brace and he was furious on my behalf, which was affirming. He even let me have Monday off for my appointment, even though I didn't put in the time off and I need to give notice normally, and let me leave earlier than expected. He is a dad himself and he said that he would never ever do this to his own kids, so he doesn't understand my mom at all. He asked if I felt safe and I said yes, but I honestly never thought about it, and the more I think about how things are here I don't know if I was entirely honest in the moment. I don't trust my mom anymore and I feel my skin crawling to be in the same room as her. Basically I'm in limbo waiting to talk to the office about my lease, but there's a couple apartments on my radar. As a given I've been going over my budget and spending too. My room is practically packed up, all my shit is in my room, piles easy to toss into boxes, and I'm gonna get a bunch of boxes from a storage store to put in my car today too. The kind you just need to build them up and fill them and then go. I have my documents and I have for a while in a safe place. Well, not all my stuff is technically in my room. I'm debating taking with me the appliances and furniture I bought for us all, like the coffee machine or microwave, or the ottoman for the love seat. I know this is an update, but let me know if it'd be a dick move to take the coffee machine, microwave and ottoman, if you feel like it. I don't really intend on it, in all honesty, but I'm pissed enough it sounds like a fun time right now. Oop, she's already going to be upset when I leave, because my portion of the rent and utilities and groceries and other expenses that I pay help a lot. The rent has been going up since we moved in, and at one point Dad worked 2 jobs and she was working serious overtime. I feel bad knowing that they would struggle to upkeep the cost here. Oop, my boss asking me if I felt safe made me reevaluate how I interacted with my mom in ways I still don't really want to think about. This isn't the first time she's caused me pain to prove a point, physical or emotional, if you count making me go hungry at a dinner party physical pain. And it's not the first time that it has taken more than a day or two to even talk about it. And I can almost guarantee she will continue to explain herself and paint her actions as reasonable response to what I did, because of the fact she's the parent and she and Dad have been on the lease since the start and I've only been on it since I turned 18. Update 2. So. Not gonna do a full fucking post, but yeah. We finally had the talk. I need insight. I genuinely need insight. I feel like I've been made to feel insane for thinking I could have expected things I put out in a communal area would not be touched. Dad's tried a few times to reassure me, but I'm just not getting it, or it's not sinking in. He's always been the softer disciplinarian. What dad isn't? He was so indulgent of me always. Maybe I am selfish and not carrying my weight. Maybe dad is hindering me by being so patient. I'm also drunk at the moment, typing one-handed on my phone, so sorry for typos. The conversation started out with mom laying into me for not doing enough to be unintrusive. She said when I cook it reeks because I use curry powder or turmeric or cumin. My food is disgusting to her, tofu and tempeh, and I don't keep my leftovers in my drawer in the fridge, like I do the actual initial product, so she has to deal with a Tupperware full of gelatinous tofu in her face when she opens the door. She likened it to congealed semen before dad intervened and said she was going too far. My almond milk keeps finding its way in front of her half and half creamer. When I vacuum, I don't always move the couch, and therefore I don't vacuum as part of my household chores. Like almost the entire time of her listing shit I do to deserve Thursday, dad kept saying she was going too far and she'd backtrack a little, but say it was still disrespectful of the household for me to act that way. Mom said I never fulfilled my promise to go back to school. I pointed out I'm working on it. I'm going to community college, a few courses a semester at a time, but took a break because work got crazy on me, and she said that my rent will have to increase because of I'm not prioritizing it anymore. When I started crying, she said I was being too emotional and told me to go to my room to calm down enough to keep talking like the adult I wanted to pretend to be. I have never felt more belittled, insulted and demeaned, and we have had some awful fights. I don't know why it hurts so much this time. If I weren't drunk, I'd drive over to my friend and stay the night. I don't want to impose on her though by ruining her weekend with my bullshit on top of making her pick me up.